Hi, this is Greg Wagner again with CIS 129. For this lecture, what we'll be doing is making a precondition loop, also called a while loop. And so for this simple loop, what we're going to do is just basically count to 10. So what we need to do is, do our normal comment structure, which I've done here. And so for while loops, there's basically two parts of it for the actual loop to work. We need to initialize some values. So under my initialize value statement, I'm going to initialize a value. So this while loop's going to count to 10. So I need to make a counter. I'll call this counter equals 0. Normally in most programming languages, the counting starts at 0. And this is for memory allocation reasons, which I'll explain later in the array lecture. And then also, I don't like using magic numbers. Magic numbers are when you just put like a number 10 somewhere. So I'm going to set the max number, the number of our count to also the initialization. So I'm going to call this max count equals 10. So what my loop's intended to do is count to 10. So a precondition loop is also called, in most cases, it's called a while loop. So I'm going to use the keyword while and then put the condition here. So I'm going to say, well, counter is less than max count, and then in the logical. So basically what this is saying is, as long as count is less than the max count, this loop will keep on running. And so all this loop is going to do is count to 10. So I'm going to do print and then counter. And so this is going to print the count value. And then what I need to do is also iterate this counter loop. If I don't iterate, which means this value will always stay under 10, will always stay 0, you get something called an infinite loop. So I'm going to say count equals count plus 1. So what this is going to do is calculate the value on the right side first. So it's going to say count. It's going to grab the value for count, which in this initial case is 0, add 1 to it, and then reallocate that value into the count on the left-hand side. So it does the mathematics on the right, the arithmetic and stuff like that, and then allocates the value into the count. And so when I run this, I'll save it, and when I run it, you'll see here on the left, oops, I made an error. I didn't call this counter, so let me run this in. I'll run. I get another error because I didn't change this stuff. And then I'll run it one more time, save it. I should get the value to 10. So I guess another example is this. Make sure that your values, counter here, counter here, counter here, all match. So this is the end of this lecture. The next we'll go over is iterative loops, are also called for loops.